Hello. Welcome to the Southeastern Finland University of Applied Sciences. Today in this webinar we will tell about the annual degree program. My name is Arto Sormunen and I'm the head of the degree program here in Xamk. I'm also teacher, principal teacher. I'm teaching course like environmental monitoring, environmental sampling, how to do the research, how to write the reports, a little bit of environmental chemistry things.
Okay, and I'm Arto's colleague. My name is Hannu Poutiainen. I'm a senior lecturer at Xamk. Xamk have been working here since 2013, and I have been also a studies counselor for the international study group. So that is also your group if you decide to apply to Xamk. So part of those duties is guiding the practical training and exchange activities, and also general instructions on how to make your studies go fluently to the graduation.
And now a little bit more about our university. All for the future. As we told, Southeastern Finland University of Applied Sciences is called Xamk. The Xamk is the fifth largest university of applied sciences in the whole country, in Finland. And we have over 700 international students. It means that it includes the exchange student, double degree students, and also we have 4 programs totally teach in English. And a little bit more details. We have 4 campuses, and here in Mikkeli we have 3,900 students, but also students in the Savonlinna, Kotka and Kouvola. So 4 campuses. But we are here in Mikkeli. And city of Mikkeli is the population is approximately 50,000 people. Here good connections to the Eastern Finland and especially to the Russian. It's very easy to travel to Mikkeli.
Yeah. And in the picture that you see there on the right, that's from the central promenade in Mikkeli. And for example, during Valentine's Day, our students were there doing some study-related exercises related to social contacts between people.
Very good, Hannu. A little bit more. Now maybe our major field, and I mean the environmental engineering, what it means, and especially what this hybrid means. So totally the whole degree is teach in English, 240 credits. But what is especially important is that we mainly do this whole degree via online, but especially this second year, this is very, hands-on, mean that we really want to have a very practical view to the things. It means that we really work with the real cases in the lab. We do the samples, we analyze the samples, we analyze the data, do the models, and what is actually the whole thing means with the real cases. So idea is that you really get a very strong practical view during the second year.
But Arto, don't forget that the second year is also very important in mingling in this social aspect. When you think about the connections between the whole group of students that is now studying the first year online all over the world.
Yes, Hannu, you are right. So it's very important that there is this kind of social skills as well. You really need to know to each other, and you are able to build such a network around with you, and it helps you with the student and also later on in the working life. You want to, Hannu, add something?
Yeah, not really. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities in the environmental engineering field, and although big part of our students, especially those that are Finnish students, that just want to study the diploma in English so that they also have the English employment possibilities. They may end up working in some municipality in Lapland, doing some health inspector type jobs. But it's also possible that you end up working in some African country, and many times it happens that you are doing exchange in some faraway place, and then you just like the country, like the culture. There's a job being offered to you based on that 5 months of practical training, and so much the better.
So it's really you will have a chance to really get a very international degree, and after this second year, for example, if you have an exchange, you can have a training, or you will do the thesis either in some other country, not in the Finland, but some other country, or in your home country as well. So it means that you will really have a chance to find a training place, for example, and many of students will continue thesis with the training place, and you can do it, for example, in your home city if you want to have it, but it's not necessary. And that's the idea. That's the best thing in this kind of hybrid system what we have. Hopefully you get an idea what we mean when we talk about this hybrid. And as I told, especially the second year, we really love labs. What it means? It means that we really work with the real cases, do a lot of lab works, water, soil sampling, air sampling, do different kind of testing there, do data handling, modeling. You also have this kind of application of geographical information system course. You combine the data with this kind of GIS systems and those kind of courses which are a bit hard to teach via online, especially those courses we will have during this second year.
Shall we discuss about the language studies? You see, Arto, there that we have basically 2 compulsory courses of Finnish language are required for every student. So somebody might think, okay, Finnish is so difficult language, I don't even try, I don't want to learn it. But I have a personal experience that language skill is really beneficial for you, understanding different cultures. That's one viewpoint. But then also in working life it is beneficial, and you don't need to speak a language 100% correctly or fluently. Many times it is enough to be able to communicate over the coffee machine in the company in the native language. Finland is a developed country. We have tens and tens of environmental engineering companies that are active internationally. So I think that they are very interested in some person that has that little much interest in Finnish culture that they learn the basics of the Finnish language, but then they have also knowledge from their home country, this kind of settling in experience in some in a new country, as you will have when you come to Finland for that 1 year. So that kind of shows that you have the courage to go to a totally new environment, and you manage to pay your electricity bills, make the contracts, whatever you want to do.
and how it looks like to work here or study here. We have very high and modern equipment for example, in our laboratories. If we think about research activities, our university, Xamk, is #1 in the whole country. And what it means in the student view, it means that we really can have very modern teaching, with modern courses, with the modern equipment. We can do very sophisticated samples and handle the samples with the new method. And you really get a very up-to-date education. And during the second year, especially in this hybrid model, you are really working in the lab with this equipment.
Yeah, I believe that Xamk R&D budget is something like 73 million euro, so it's quite considerable.
Yeah. What about you, Hannu? Want to tell something about the internationalization and employability?
Yeah, well, this is like a statement that I made maybe 3 years ago, that you see there in the exclamation marks. The company cannot be in business without considering the environment in some way. This was some exercise of doing some visions for the future, and that's what I wrote down in that time. And I think that now, when all the countries around the world are trying to figure out how to do all the developments that are needed based on the Paris Agreement to bring down the average temperature rise in the world to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to the past times. So everybody has to play a role in that. So I think that's a fact now, that any company needs to do something for the environment, even if the product is not environmentally friendly per se. They must do reports and show to the customers that they are being as environmentally friendly as possible. And that means they don't produce waste, try to minimize waste, try to circulate all the portions of waste that can be circulated. They minimize energy use, which is of course sensible for the financial result of the company as well. But yeah, so basically that is true, that if you get the right set of knowledge during your studies, every company is a potential employer. And here I have in my mind basically this the job description of environmental health and safety, and sometimes quality is added also to that officer, which is one possible job in a larger or middle-sized company. Then that type of responsibilities, they are also legally required by small companies. You must report some environmental matters to authorities. So then there are, this is in the small companies, this is taken care of by the consultants, which you see here on the slide view. So Pöyry Environment, Rumble Oy, they are like consultant companies, and they may offer this type of service to companies. So a lot of environmental engineers, they are hired by consulting companies that offer these various services in this environmental engineering field. And these companies, they can be local in Finland or in some other country. Especially I know that in Germany the consulting companies are local many times. but they can also be international companies operating all over the world. And for this type of company, the degree that we offer is like top on, really good. Yeah, and then, like I said, the various municipalities in Finland and elsewhere, they require these environmental health and security officers always.
So it means that the broad is actually the area is very broad. So where you
the area is broad, but because of that, it's quite important that, of course, the first years you get to know the field. If you don't have any experience in it before, you may have that also from your past working life or studies. But then it is advisable that you, in addition to this being a generalist, knowing a little bit about everything, you kind of decide what do you have most interest in. Is it like technology? Do you want to develop filtering systems for cleaning the exhaust air of industrial installations? Do you want to provide drinking water to some of the developing countries, or do you want to be involved with producing energy in an environmental friendly way?
And Hannu, also the salary increase more when you get the more experience, but maybe if I roughly try to estimate the salary in the early phases of career, maybe the roughly 200 or 500 euros. So, but as I told, you get more experience, the salary will get higher.
Yeah, and the average salary, I recall a figure I just checked from 2019, that was an American source, was like 32 euros per hour, or 72,000 euros per year, like an average figure. Of course, it depends on the if it's like a project person's position or if it's like a managerial position, that has an influence. But generally, the job outlook, employment outlook is quite good. Yeah, and then with this area of environmental engineering, it is of course work and you get the salary, but there's also this there's this sideline of saving the world, which is like motivating me a lot in this teacher's job. So you can see the quotation there at the bottom. When this job is done well, the earth gains a little protection, so future generations can enjoy its value. This was from some American internet source, and I like it quite a lot. Together with that comes the fact that in this degree we are not only protecting environment, and we are not only developing technology. We kind of bring these together, and you must, if you think about from the viewpoint of a less developed country, where you have both the environmental problems and then you have also social inequality and poor people, to put it straight, living. So you must kind of balance the money you use for environment and the money you use for helping the people. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, so you can read from the slide yourselves. There are like these different aspects. For example, the fact to know what's the state of environment in a certain area, you must do measurements. You must periodically take samples and analyze those. Then you know if the environment is clean. And then if there's like some industry is being put there or some wastewater is being led in that area, although it's cleaned as well as possible, then you can like follow up what the effect of that on the environment is, and then you can make choices on to improve the wastewater handling, for example. So that's like an example why analysis is important. And then when you think about the like forecasts of what the carbon dioxide like slippage to the atmosphere, what that causes, all these forecasts are based on measurement data, which are turned into models, which are then used to forecast what will happen in the future.
And remember that we study things is not study is the whole life here, but you also need to have some free time activities. We also are able to provide such excellent facilities for many kind of activities outside the school life. So you have to remember that as well. And especially outdoor activities in the Mikkeli area in Finland we have excellent and nice and clean nature here around. So if you enjoy that kind of life, this is excellent place for.
Yeah, I just had a discussion with a student this morning that comes from a country in Africa, and he has been now for a month here in Mikkeli, and he mentioned that although in his home country you have forests, but you have to travel to the forest, even though it's like a nature-rich location. But here in Mikkeli you can just like walk 500 meters and you are in the middle of the forest.
And very easy to use bicycle and move around one place to another, and easy to travel. No need to be in the rush.
Yeah, and then when you think, I have been during my high school years living abroad for a couple of years, and now I cherish those memories very much. So I think that the same will happen to you if you are that 1 year and possibly even more if you find your practical training company in some company here in Finland. You may be 1.5, 2 years in Finland. So you will get to know the culture, you will get to know the language, you will work then after that as an environmental engineer somewhere, but for sure you will cherish the memories and also the connections that you have made to this international multi-talented team that will be formed by your student group of say 40 students, 21 to 24 whenever you then graduate.
Very good, Hannu. And what I would like to still mention is that hopefully you get an idea what this hybrid study means, and especially that you get interested in our degree program. So welcome to apply. We are here to help you with your career path.
Yes, welcome on my part as well. So see you then online in autumn.
So if you have any questions, we try to give the answers.
Okay, there seem to be no questions at the moment. So if there are some, this registration will be on YouTube as well. So you may post your questions there in the chat of the YouTube, and we will have a look sometime towards the end of next week, and we will answer those questions that appear. Thank you.
Thank you.